Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties, education, and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Barber, Director of Cultural Affairs for Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
A group of parents kick religious discrimination and political correctness to the curb as they speak out and keep God in God Bless the USA song. I'm Matt Barber, Vice President of Liberty Counsel Action, in studio today with Shawn Akers, Vice President of Middle Eastern Affairs with Liberty Counsel. Fourth graders at Stall Brook Elementary School were permitted to perform God Bless the USA at their public school assembly because the people in Bellingham, Massachusetts, and around the country stood for common sense and the children's First Amendment rights. Originally, teachers and administrators had replaced the phrase God Bless the USA in Lee Greenwood's song with We Love the USA. In a too cute by half attempt, Shawn, at political correctness. They preemptively did this. There were no complaints. They just, being, good politically correct folks in the state of Massachusetts, where religious discrimination is part and parcel, decided that it was time to trample these kids' First Amendment rights. Well, there was pushback, and they have since been humiliated, embarrassed, and reversed course.
You know, Matt, if the United States government treated the national debt with as much fear and trepidation, with as much avoidance as they do even the mention of the word God in public schools, we would be running a budget surplus right now. The public school system has become so accustomed to being sued by the likes of the ACLU that they are frightened into a box that simply doesn't exist. At least it's not one that the Constitution imposes on them. And this is just a great case to show both the ridiculous levels of fear on the parts of public schools and how people like our listeners, people who have children in schools, can take an immediate action, and common sense tends to come to the rescue, and you wind up, as in this case, with a good result.
Well, I hope everyone listening right now is encouraged, because this again shows that the secularist left is a paper tiger. Groups like the American Civil Liberties Union, yes, they are well-funded, have many more lawyers than does Liberty Counsel and other religious liberties firms, a true First Amendment protection firms around the country. The ACLU loathes the First Amendment. They believe that any recognition of not just religion, particularly Christianity, in any public forum must be quashed. Well, this shows that the secularist left, groups like Americans United for Separation of Church and State, People for the American Way, these radical anti-theist groups, that's what they are. They are anti-theist organizations. Some atheists, some people like Barry Lynn with Americans United claims to be a reverend, a Christian. I don't know, but he is certainly secularist in his approach and seeks to silence the First Amendment rights and of individuals. This shows that they're a paper tiger. When people stand up because of new media, the internet and talk radio and Fox News and people pushing back against the very powerful mainstream media, when people organize, which the left is very adept at, when they organize and push back against this paper tiger, conservatives outnumber liberals 2-1 in the United States. Poll after poll after poll shows this to be the case. When we push back, more times than not, we win.
Well, they're paper tigers as long as we keep them that way.
That's right.
Because here's the real problem with that. We've all heard it said that if you tell a lie enough times, it starts to become the truth. And with these, you're absolutely right, Matt. You're calling them paper tigers because their arguments don't hold any substance whatsoever. But here's the thing. If no one responds, like these parents did in this particular case, if no one responds like that, then even the silence, even if there's not a court case, a precedent is set. And the school board gets the message that, wait a minute, if we just nix God from the beginning, if we become anti-theist in our own right, not because we want to be, but because it's the safe bet, then we can avoid all this trouble. And what happens when they hear the opposite, what happens when they see that parents get upset is, wait a minute, there's no protection for me by siding with the paper tiger. And then you are forced into a substantive discussion, and you see, wait a minute, this vast bulk, this silent majority that's not silent anymore of the American people also happen to be right. Yeah. So I'm not going to side with the paper tigers in this case. And then all of a sudden, you're shining lights on the puppeteers, and the Constitution has a fighting chance again.
Well, and maybe a better analogy is than paper tiger. They are that, but they're bullies, and we know that when people stand up to the bully on the playground intimidates. That's what he does, intimidates people into silence, into fear, into avoiding the bully. And oftentimes the bully is the paper tiger. And when the righteous individual who is being bullied defends his or herself and punches the bully in the mouth, guess what? The bully, more times than not, has a glass jaw, falls down, then everyone on the playground says, whoa, the bully was a weakling after all. That's the secularist left. The secularist left are bullies. They try to bully and intimidate and push religious intolerance and religious bigotry on everyone else. They deny and try to revise history. They deny the true nature of our history here in the United States, that we were founded by men, the vast majority of whom were Christian men, on the tenets and the precepts, biblical tenets, biblical precepts. We know that those who preceded our founding fathers in this nation came across the vast ocean in order to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. This was their primary mission. This was a nation founded to glorify and honor God. Yes, we have freedom of religion. No, it was not designed for freedom from religion, which groups like the ACLU and others would seek to achieve.
No, in fact, Matt, it's an astounding thing to stop and look at what's actually at issue here. We're not having a discussion over tradition in the sense that many would try to put it, or even historical perspectives. We're not discussing something as lofty as whether you're going to serve tea or coffee at the next school board function. What's at stake here is who gets to set the very beginning principles of worldview for our next generation. And the left understands, I think, better than we have, that the next generation, that the children are the key to governance of the United States on a 20-year plan, that the children right now that are in kindergarten and first grade, that are developing their ideas of what is normal and what is not, what's acceptable and what it's not, what's to be venerated and what is not, are going to show up in the halls of government in 15 to 20 years.
What they are trying to do is recreate an America in their own secular socialist self-image.
That's right. Yeah.
In order to do that, they have to crush the fundamental cornerstones of this great nation: freedom of speech, freedom of religion. They have to take a sledgehammer to those cornerstones, break it down so that they can rebuild anew a Euro-socialist United States of America, a United Socialist States of America. And part and parcel of socialism, of Marxism, is the abolition of religion. As Karl Marx said, religion is the opium of the masses, and that it must be done away with to have true happiness. I'm paraphrasing there. That's the goal of the secularist left. That's why something as simple as singing the song "God Bless the USA," they have to remove God from that, because then that reminds us of the true history of this nation, those true fundamental cornerstones of which I'm referring to.
That's the only threat to man's authority is God, and what you're seeing is a battle between the left secular mindset and the notion of God that says, I'm not going to let any being in the universe have dominance over me. This is the same rebellion that has led to man's heartache throughout history, Matt.
Well, President Obama famously said that the culture wars are so 1990s. Well, the culture wars are alive and well, going strong, and Liberty Counsel is at the forefront. We are on the front lines in fighting those culture wars. Are we going to stand and defend our United States culture as it was originally founded, or are we going to have something completely different? The left would like something different. Go to lc.org to join Liberty Counsel, to become part of the Liberty Counsel team, or call us at 800-671-1776.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.